My name was Ruby Jewel Stevens. I was born in Glasgow, Montana. Well, I think I was about 8 years old when I came to the south part of Portland. That was a Jewish part of Portland with a bakery and the braided poppy seed rolls that they had there. Oh, it was just great. I got involved with the Jewish Community Center, who had dancing classes and swimming tank. And it was right along about the time of the Depression, and we moved to Clackamas. So then I went to Milwaukee High School for 4 years, and then I went to Oregon State for a year or so. Yeah, I worked for an advertising agency. They sent us down to Seaside to get pictures. And we got out there, we had a photographer, and the fella came to me, he says, I can't use these gals, they're all too buxom. I says, well, I'll get in there. And this was the first time a woman ever had a suit without a skirt. I was the first one. And it looked pretty darn good. Can you see it? I always had a boyfriend too. There was always somebody I liked. He was Fred Carl Fandrich. I set up a date with my roommate, and I said, what do you think about her? Oh, he says, she's not my type. I said, oh, well, what is your type? He says, you are. He said, I think I'll go take welding lessons. And within 2 days, why, he was out in the shipyard. Well, that would be 1941. And that's when we moved up towards where Vanport was. That was the day of Pearl Harbor. I hear were people out there selling extra papers. Pearl Harbor had been attacked. You couldn't believe that. Nobody could attack the United States like that. The Oregon shipyard was building those ships so fast on the assembly line. Fred had a group of women welders. That was his crew. He said they were pretty darn good. But my mother was 60 years old, and she went down there as a welder. They'd get up there with a ladder, and then somebody'd come and take their ladder. She'd take little hunks of metal, I guess, and she'd weld them down so she could have herself a ladder to get down. When the flood came, I was at home, and I heard that it had happened. And then I heard about friends. They had all their belongings in a trailer. They got in their car and they started to try to get up onto that Denver Avenue, and they couldn't get up there. I was listening to the radio. The announcer said, "Here comes a car. He can't make it. He can't make it," and went right into the water. And that night, we were laying in bed there, and we could hear those houses bumping into each other. We just couldn't believe something could happen like that. I'm 101, and a few days over. I've had a good life, and I can say that I sure appreciate my family. So I'd like them to get together and stay together and think about me once in a while. had music all my life. I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. That was a real good one. Ain't she sweet? Coming down the street, ding, dee dum dum dee da dee da dum da dum 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 dum.